I'm trying to figure out is how to make a structure that was temporary permanent, because as soon as we had these walls put in and stuff, you started seeing sagging and all sorts of stuff, and something we're still trying to figure out. So it's not Camden, but in the original sense. So remember how I was saying 1732, that's when the officials start, and it takes a while for things to get rolling. It was plotted out, but a few early attempts to settle this area. There were some hostile natives and at the time, and there were also some diseases such as malaria and all sorts of stuff like that. Things will take a while to get rolling, and it's not until 1750 when a group of Irish Quakers come out here, and they're the first to settle permanent settlements. But they didn't really settle right here. They settled on this side and the other side of the Water River. And it wasn't until 1758 Joseph Kershaw comes to town. He's a self-made man, comes from humble beginnings, and he finds this sort of a rise of the. With Sherman, you gotta understand some things. I look at his actions very similar to what Harry Truman did at the end of World War II, dropping bombs. You know, he resorted to these scorched earth tactics, just wanted the war to end. And so he did commit a lot of destruction. But much of the construction that was weddings before COVID were the biggest thing.
Here.
He did. Well, not in this house. It's reconstructed. Kershaw was here.
Oh, you did live here. It sounded like you didn't get it finished.
Well, the top wasn't quite finished, according to historical memory.
Oh, it's nice.
And it is sort of bare. And if you guys are in a lot of historic homes, you always know that there's a lot of empty space in the middle. You ever notice that? That's very purposeful. Back then, rooms are designed to hold as many people in the middle from furniture. And they make really great cup holders. I'm going to turn this light on real quick. We have our two pictures here. This is a photograph from 1860. And then this is also a painting from 1830s, 40s, around that time. I should direct you guys to this diorama right here, real quick, because it gives a good view of what the town looked like. It had a good, about equal amount. And the people who chose the loyalist side were more people like Kershaw. These self-made kind of men, came from nothing. People who, so he was a patriot. And so it was a civil war here. 2/3 of all combat take place in South Carolina. And Camden kind of sits right in the middle of it. And so the British attempt to take Fort Moultrie, or Sullivan's Island, as it was referred to back then, Fort Sullivan. It paints a really good picture. It gets the spirit of South Carolina Revolution correct. So Cornwallis is sent to occupy the back country and then move up. Because what we don't have too much longer, but so these I brought these down to kind of show people. I like to use this table to show people things that we don't usually have down here.
Mm-hmm.
And so these jugs are very special. This right here is a stoneware jug, and stoneware is just a hard type of pottery, and it's salt glazed, meaning that they put salt inside the kiln and it sort of melts and bonds to it. And that's what they used to sterilize things so they could hold food and water and stuff. This right here is centuries old. This is Mississippian complicated pottery. And it's a complete piece. Usually you don't find a complete piece. It's been repaired a bit. I don't know if you see that crack right there. But Mississippians lived between 900 AD, or 900 BC to 1400 AD, about. So several hundred-year reign, and they occupied this area, and so it's a pretty cool piece. But this is the dining room. This is the room probably the most important in the house because everyone who came here, who was somebody, ate here. And these tables right here, this is massive. They were very luxurious meals almost every day here. One of the things they would eat is chicken and dumplings. I have a positive view. We have our fancy chairs right there. That one in the very corner is a 1790s piece. It's called the fancy painted chair because it's fancy and it's painted. This piece, pineapple bed. Now, can you eventually guess why it's called a pineapple bed? Looks like a pineapple, right?
Yep.
That's why. Symbol of hospitality, and the story behind that is Charleston sailors would come home with the pineapples from the Caribbean, put them on their gates and on their mantles at parties, and that would be a symbol of hospitality. Also become a symbol of the wealthy because only the rich could afford them, and you'd see it incorporated in furniture. Now this bed actually does not originate in South Carolina. This bed once sat in the White House. And two first ladies slept on this bed. One of them, Dolly Madison, who is usually the more famous one, but her biggest contribution, in my opinion, was being the first lady to serve ice cream out of the White House. Now her favorite flavor of ice cream was oyster flavor, so ice cream still had to evolve. Can you imagine such a thing, oyster flavor ice cream?
Yeah, that's pretty bad.
That just sounds very refreshing. Now, the second lady to sleep on this bed was Angelica Singleton. Angelica Singleton is the youngest first lady, and I don't know if you know your presidents very well, but there was never any president named Singleton.